Welcome back everybody. Let's have a look at some of these coins and some of these charts. Mainly we're going to look at Bitcoin and XRP on this video, but I'm going to be rolling out videos for other assets, including tutorials on Bityard, which is the new trading platform that I've decided to move everything onto. Set yourself an account up with the link below, and like I say, I'm going to make some decent tutorials on how to go about using this, because I've found it to be vastly superior to all the others. You can trade not just crypto but all these guys too, indices and commodities like gold, silver, oil, as well as all your main cryptocurrencies in here as well. But that is for a different video, and let's get into the charts then, shall we? So let's have a look at XRP. Now we'll look at Bitcoin to start with, because Bitcoin is the one that's done something special, I suppose. But is there something special to be had out of this move from now on? Let's have a look then, shall we? So I thought, and I still kind of, to an extent, it could still be valid, that we could be in a downtrend. But looking at the weekly, which is what this chart is, this is the weekly, there's plenty of room to be moving upwards, and actually the MACD on the weekly has basically turned a very sharp corner. I mean, we're well into bullish territory, but it's turned a very sharp corner and looks as though it wants to amend that cross that it made last week. That's fine by me if it wants to do that, but it hasn't made that cross, and even if it did, it wouldn't, I suppose, mean a great deal. This doesn't often happen, alright? So to have a cross like this take place, and then for it to uncross itself basically the next week afterwards, is a pretty rare event, alright? I'm not saying that it can't happen, it looks like it is going to happen, but it's not very common. In fact, it's very uncommon. So in that sense, we could still be looking at more downtrend on this, but for the moment we have to look at what's happened and take that into consideration. So we did have a big move, and that move is already retracing ever so slightly, so that move has come back down 1.5%. The top range would be for me would be to see if this trend line here, this upwards facing trend line, which is basically mostly resistance, but it can be turned to support, historically has found support on here, and over the years. This is the daily chart, so this goes back to September 2017 when it was relevant back then. Still relevant today, because you can see that we were bumping our heads upon it all this time and before we broke down from it. So making our way up to this level, that's 12,200 basically, if we were to hit that today, which I find, you know, completely unrealistic, but this would be the trend line to beat. Getting up and above this trend line and staying above this trend line is bullish long term, but until that happens, we have to treat that as a significant place to take profit or to even go short from. You know, this is the trend line of all trend lines. Like I say, you've been rejected, supported, rejected, supported, rejected, and rejected all of the other month. So this is the one to get above and beat. Second to that, the support trend line, there's two of these. This is an upwards facing one that we've managed to respect all this way, which is this white one here, bumping our way up and keeping us up there. And also, if that were to break down, we have this downwards trending support level here, which has been basically a resistance since the parabolic top. We can only assume that it's a support if we were to come down that low. So I've not really given you any idea of where this is going, have I? I mean, personally, what I would think is, given the sentiment in the market, given the fact that the US dollar has basically dropped out of the sky again and has gone bearish, looks to me like it actually is going to remain bearish all the way down to at least this level here, 92.63. Will give everybody opportunity to rally again. So we're talking stocks, commodities, all major indices and cryptocurrencies. They should all be bullish as a result of this, and I don't see why there's any reason to doubt that, which is another reason I suppose why I love this this trading platform, because I can do all of that in one place. I can do the crude oil, I can do the gold, the silver, I can do the Nasdaq. That's all in one place. Anyway, that's enough of that. But what does this mean for XRP? So XRP has been making some decent runs and rallies of its own recently. It's been showing really good signs of strength prior to this move with Bitcoin. Now, a lot of that was news based. There was a court case which has basically been dropped, so there's this whole area of doubt that in XRP being sued. Basically, that's out the window now, so they're free as a bird now, and that's allowed the price to sort of rally off the back of that. But what's that done to the chart? So the chart, basically, accumulation period still going forward, and we're about to enter above the 0 point, which is completely different to where Bitcoin is. Bitcoin's already above there. But if we make our way above here, we're diverging, the histogram's diverging, the RSI is making higher highs and higher lows. It looks to me like we want to rally, and it's only when we break above this dark red itchy cloud that we can really start to make some decent moves back up to this blue box territory. We're talking 28.2 cent, and maybe even breaking even higher than that, going all the way above here. Now we do have this trend line, which was our resistance trend line, which had been tested and broken, so we're above there now, so we can only assume that that could be a support. We're above all major moving averages also, and the money flow index is creeping, which is nice. It's creeping and it's right in the center. There's plenty of room to move on all of these indicators, and we're above all major moving averages, so there's no reason for me to doubt the fact that we could make it up to towards 28 cent and maybe higher than that. So we'll be looking for a move for XRP, as I'll be looking for a move for all alts. When we're looking at the Bitcoin dominance, though, what I should say is that the Bitcoin dominance is going bullish. It's turned a corner now. We've found support on the green 50 exponential on the daily. Let's have a look at the lower time frames on this to see what this means. And like I say, it doesn't mean that alts can't rally. Of course they can. They are certainly going to rally. It just means that Bitcoin is gaining strength. Mind you, we're still beneath 60% dominant, so it's still a good place to be for alts. But I mean, look at the state of this chart. What has been going on here on the 4 hourly? I mean, alts are definitely having parties all over the place. Every dump is to be bought back. So we can see here that Bitcoin's trying to push up again, and you can see what that's doing to the dominance chart as we speak. The golden cross was made back here. It is still continuing to play out. I would definitely say that that across the board everything's looking pretty good. So XRP is good. Bitcoin's good. So long as the Dixie continues down, everything's good, and you can even trade yourself a bit of the old indices and commodities on here as well. So the party looks to me as if it's going to begin and continue throughout this weekend until we reach this level on Bitcoin. That's when I would start to get very scared and probably take profits, probably a little bit before then. But this trend line, this is the ultimate trend line. You should get this trend line into your charts because it's super relevant. It's been relevant for a long time. It was relevant recently when we basically dumped from it again and again. Like I say, this happens frequently from this trend line. We do dump hard from it when we do dump, which is what happened recently, and there's no reason why we won't dump from it again. But we do have an upwards trend line of support here, which will eventually close us into this. I suppose it's more like a rising wedge area. Mind you, I should mention that rising wedges do often break to the downside, but for the moment we've got strong support, and this will be a strong resistance, and it's all upwards facing. So I think the party is just getting started. So if the party was to finish at 4 in the morning and starts at 8 at night, I'd probably say we're probably about midnight at the moment. So we're halfway through the party, I'd say. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. Feel free to subscribe to this channel, like it, and join my Telegram. We've got lots of free airdrop information on there all the time, so come to the channel, we'll get your airdrop, free money basically. There's lots of that going on my channel at the moment from me and from other participants, so you can't go wrong with free money. And like I say, if you feel like you've got it in you, get yourself a Bityard account. You can trade with a demo account just to get the hang of margin trading. And I'll leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. Have a nice evening. Take it easy.